guys, it's PJ
and Carissa,
and today we're going to be discussing something that isn't talked about very much.
So what we're going to try to touch up on in a shortest possible video is just the view on girls/women. We don't get treated as good as most people would like or as most people think.
In society today, we are told to keep up with models. We see the magazines and what they wear, and then as teenagers, we go out and we buy the same outfits. Well, if a girl goes out and wears a tube top or a halter top or wears shorts, we're showing too much skin, and then we're called hoes for literally no reason. And I don't really think that's fair and appropriate to be walking around school or even outside and people thinking you're a hoe for wearing a piece of clothing.
And that's kind of what we're trying to talk about today, is just the language used towards women and girls, and especially girls. Girls are very impressionable and they're very emotional. So we try to just get through the day. We just want to fit in. We want to just live our lives and just figure out who we are.
These days, a girl is caught kissing a boy that she's not actually dating, and she's called a hoe for no reason. A hoe is actually someone who sleeps around, throws their body around to any guy. And just because you're kissing a guy doesn't mean that you're a hoe. You go walking around the halls and you're called a hoe and everybody knows it. And it's not right for people to be doing that. It hurts a girl's self-esteem and confidence to know in the back of her head as she's walking down the halls that everyone thinks she's a hoe. And all the guys talk about it.
And that's like our whole point of the video, is that girls get shamed for doing the littlest things. If they step out of line, even a hairline, they are ridiculed and bombarded with insults and looks and gossip, and they have no escape from it. And girls don't just do like the kind of things that get talked about on their own.
No one really wants to be dating that. But a hoe really is someone who sleeps around, and if you're kissing some guy, you're not a hoe. Just know that.
And a lot of things too is that it's just, these words are all about perception because they're just words, but the way people use them, the way people see them is what truly affects people. Because boys, they get called boys, but then that's not a bad thing. That's considered a good job, like you've gotten as many girls as possible, and all these other kind of thoughts. It's just not fair, because boys, they can do whatever they want and they get a pat on the back, they get a good job, and girls, they get to bear all the weight. They're the ones that can barely walk down the hall without people muttering about them, people giving them dirty looks, getting talked about all the time, and their business is never their business because the guys make it worse by telling everyone.
Words do hurt people. Being called a hoe when you're not, it's really effective to a girl's self-esteem. It really hurts.
And girls get attacked like this all the time because they don't have a way to protect themselves. And I'm sure, obviously we're still girls, but if us at this age can already figure out how messed up everything is, how come other people don't see it? But is anything really changing is the point.
No, honestly, nothing is changing.
And a lot of people will say that, yes, you're just spouting on the same thing that everybody says, but the thing is, not everybody says it. People listen to it and they'll hear it, but then they'll just swipe it to the side. And you can say things like, yes, words hurt, yes, life isn't fair, and we understand that. That's not the point. The point is that guys don't have the same respect for women as they did before. And I don't know what has changed from now or from then to now, but something needs to change again, because this isn't right. Because girls feel so bad about themselves that they don't even want to get up in the morning, because they know that if I see this guy again, I'm going to feel so bad and this is my fault, this is on me, when it's not true. It's the same logic as if a man and a woman have a child and then they say that the woman, it's her fault because she's the one who decided to have sex. There is two people in that equation. A woman can't make a baby by herself, and a woman or a girl can't kiss a guy or talk to a guy on her own. That's not how it works. But everybody assumes that's how it works, and it's the girl's fault, and she's the one who's throwing herself at the guy, and it's her fault for whatever happens.
It's understandable for people to want a label. It's part of society today. But be careful on how you're labeling, and make sure you have a valid reason to follow up the label. There are people out there who really do have sex on the daily, who talk to 12 guys at a time, but they're perfect angels in everybody's eyes. And then there's other people who are actually completely innocent, and no one wants to talk to them because they're labeled as a hoe for no reason.
Everyone likes to assume, and I'm not gonna act like I haven't assumed things about people, because it's in our nature to assume, because we need to protect ourselves. We need to make an accurate profile of somebody so we know what we're getting into when we're talking to them. But you just gotta be careful on how you use the self profile that you made for somebody else, because you can call someone a hoe all you want, but that doesn't mean they are one. I mean, you could mean it as a joke. You could mean it as you got embarrassed and you're trying to save face in front of your friends and you call a girl a hoe. But you don't know what she's going through. You don't know how many times she's been called that. You don't know how low her self-esteem is, and she's just trying to get through the day. And it's like, people say it, like she said before, people say it to kids all this time, like the sticks and stones and whatever else. But you can say that too, and you can say it all you want, but that doesn't mean it's going to make it true.